The motherfucking dust kicker. Who can you trust? Do you have the heart to see a nigga before you bust? My name is spoken on the tongues of so many foes. Busting motherfuckers out the box, I ain't even go. Now how the hell do you explain my claim to fame? From doing flicks to busting tricks out the fucking frame. Got these bitches on my job, niggas on my block. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking clock. And busting niggas' asses to stay alive. Skinny ass player watching bigger motherfuckers fry. They ask me how I'm living, how I'm a hustler. Fucking busters till they die. Now it's on in the ghetto, you ain't heard. Niggas got their AKs heading for the birds. Aiming at them skinny ass bitches, let it rain. Giving them a wet welcome to the house of pain. Multiple gunshots, burning, turning rappers to victims. I kick them all day, kick them all day. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking. Multiple gunshots, burning, turning rappers to victims. I kick them all day, kick them all day. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking.
30 days later, I'm back on the streets. Got a batch of bomb beat shit. I'm trying to eat feet to the pavement. Money, I'm craving it. What about the bitches, dawg? Are you saving them? Can a blind man see? Can a shark survive out of water for a week? A snitch is a snitch if he solemnly speak. I don't know near nutter. I'm a product of the beach. To each his own, hard as stone. A lot of y'all niggas bought as hard as phone. Dead wrong, trying to sneak to Mika the phone. Step back, nephew, I feel the heat of the chrome. G-Mon, Paw in the heat of my cone. Plate full of shit, nigga, I never eat it alone. Heat it alone, then I put the weed in the bone. Step back at the feet of my throne, motherfucker.
Multiple gunshots, burning, turning rappers to victims. I kick them all day, kick them all day. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking. Multiple gunshots, burning, turning rappers to victims. I kick them all day, kick them all day. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking. Jealous ass suckers got them ducking for my smoking clock.
Cats playing games, so I'm going raw. Run up in that fucking building, kick down the door. I don't want no fucking problems with X. Y'all wanna see them four-legged beasts with them collars on their...
Welcome back to CRN. We're back for race number 2 for the FEG Custom PC Money Race at the Super Speedways. Tonight is going to be Talladega 2 for 2 in the trucks. Last week we've seen the Xfinity cars, then we bounced over to the trucks. Now we're going to see the trucks in the trucks yet again as qualifying has just started. I am Dylan McDonald in the broadcast booth. Next to me in the other spot of the broadcast booth is going to be Jimmy. And it's, yeah, your mind's kind of going all winky wonky from the endurance racing. Mine is going the other way due to, you know, getting over being sick and finally getting my voice back. So, you know, it's just another day in the neighborhood.
Another day in the neighborhood, but these drivers out here are finishing up their qualifying laps. Looks like John Honeycutt has the provisional pole at the moment over Cole Fitzpatrick. So got a good line of drivers out here tonight as the prize pool is just a little bit bigger on the second event, as it is a 50-lap race. Let's say 25-lap shootout, like the last one. So a little bit more time out on the track, Dylan. You know, it's something, you know, we talked about it last week, and I'll say it again, you know, kind of refresh the viewers out there. You know, with the race being so long, you know, where do you want to sit? What's your strategy going into something like this, a plate race, where that is 50 laps race?
I mean, with it being a 50-lap race, I think I just not even qualify. I just go to the rear and just kind of sit back there for like the first 25 or so laps and start to kick it up after that and see what I can do after that. So definitely want to play the waiting game, and, you know, the kettle calling the pot black or whatever, but you know me, I don't have patience. Everybody knows this, that races with me. Patience is nowhere in my agenda, no matter what I'm racing. Short track,
I mean, at least it's in your vocabulary now.
That is true. Like, you know, if you watch, you know, obviously not a lot of people know that I am a sim racer outside of broadcasting. I love sim racing, and it doesn't matter if it's the A car, the B car, the C car, the 87s in particular. Anything I can get my hands on and get out there and drive, I'm going to figure out how to drive the track. Unless it's a road course, then I go to you, and you just do you. The oval side, I'll stick to the oval side. but it's just something different, you know, getting out here, running a different track, different car combo every week is something that I like doing if it's oval wise. And, you know, just learning the new cars. You know, obviously, if you just focus your mind on one car, you're going to get super comfortable with that one. And you're going to jump into, like, let's say the Gen 4 car, be like, all right, too loose, can't run this, I don't like it. It's just a learning curve with every single car that you try to run on the sim.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm like super good in like any one vehicle. I do dabble with a lot of the ovals. I do dabble in the racing. And I do prefer the high downforce cars, such as like the new LMP3 is one of my new favorites, along with the LMP2 and LMP1, the new LMPH. But they are basically, you know, they're not open wheel high downforce cars or closed wheel. I just have a lot of fun with them, you know, really slinging the car around a track. But I used to dabble a lot in the ovals, and I just kind of stepped away from it as I found the team events that the road racing kind of provides one of my favorite things to do on iRacing, as it is, you know, you're part of a team. So you go out there, and it's not just you in the car. It's you and 6 other, like right now it's 6 others, 5 other people out there with me that are going to be racing a car for 24 hours straight as we take shifts driving the car, getting around there. And you know, the name of the game is pretty much just staying out of trouble and not putting your car in a bad situation. And that key word that Dylan said earlier, patience. You know, patience plays a big part of endurance racing. But these guys, you know, they'd have to have patience here as well, as especially with plate racing. You know, nobody's going anywhere. You can go to the back, from the back to the front, and guess what? Everybody else is still there. They're not going anywhere. But you know, plate racing, to me, when I get involved, I like to just kind of hang out and just kind of enjoy the draft, save fuel, and hope, and just try to stay out of trouble. So if you see people start bouncing around in front of you, you might end up backing off and kind of falling back a little bit. But more than likely, there's going to be a caution, and then you'll be able to catch back up. So no rush here, I don't think, for these drivers, and looking forward to seeing the second race of the night.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the second race of the night, as qualifying was a little bit different here tonight. No open qualifying. It was lone car qualifying, so no draft laps included for qualifying. But on the pole is going to be Kenneth McCullough Jr. in the number 03, Andrew Navarro starting outside row number 1, Alex Hill putting it P number 3, David Sheets in 4th. Rounding out your top 5 will be Nash Brambilla. In P number 6 is going to be Jeff Merck. 7th will be Michael Triscaro. 8th is going to be Cody Reed. 9th, John Mahalan. 10th is going to be Jason Maines. 11th will be Ron Morris Jr. 12th, John Ellis Jr. 13th will be Dustin Caruthers. 14th, Dean Grob. 15th, Devin Ray. 16th, Bobby Forbes. 17th, Austin B. Lloyd. 18th, David Bell. 19th will be Cameron. 20th will be Isaac Smith. 21st will be Zach Range. 22nd, Cole Fitzpatrick. 23rd, Dylan C. Jones. 24th is going to be John Ward. 25th, John Honeycutt. 26th is going to be Chad Ross. 27th, Art Greco. 28th, Logan York. 29th, out of 29 cars, is going to be Joey Allen. So a little bit of a bigger field here tonight, almost 30 drivers as we cap off the night with 29. Like you said, Jimmy, 50 laps, the distance for these drivers. It's definitely going to be something fun here to watch. 50 laps, patience, super speedway, the big one, yard sales, NASA, pit stops, everything you can think of is going to happen here at Talladega for the 50 lap feature.
Hey, yeah, it's just cause like I said, everybody has their own opinion about plate tracks, and it's just I know the guys are out here and they're excited. They want to win. So I'm going to see how everybody's nerves and how everybody starts driving. If anything, there's some, bumping and wrecking from last race. Will that carry over to this race? Hopefully it does not. Hopefully they can have a nice, clean race. So looking forward to seeing these drivers complete 50 laps at Talladega as they head down the front stretch coming out of turn 4. And the pace car should be hauling off right now.
Yeah, looking at it now, gonna get you a nice little, I think there's a pit entry digger cam. No, there's not. I thought there was one, but there's not. But it's going to be Kenneth McCullough and Andrew Navarro going to bring these drivers to the green flag. First initial start will be on the starter as Barney, the flagman, has the green flag in his hand. Green flag is out for the FEG Custom PC 50-lap feature here tonight at Talladega. Still side by side, getting ready to go down into turn number 1 and 2.
Yeah, the 2x2 rule is in effect here as we are in the early stages of the races as these guys go down through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, already you can see that top side not being as dominant as it was last race. As Alex Hill able to get out ahead of Andrew Navarro. He's going to drop it down to the inside and leave Andrew Navarro out to dry, as already looking for the race lead and keeping control of it's going to be the number 77, but he's going to go back up to Andrew Navarro's bumper and use him as a drafting buddy, as that inside line for the first lap has total control over the whole field. You can see him just going through the bumps through the tri-oval at Talladega, and as the tires get a little bit worn, you're going to see a lot more drivers kind of blip the throttle to keep that truck underneath of them.
Yeah, it's like one thing, you get a nice good run, and if you're staying the throttle, your vehicle will tend to push out to the outside. So a lot of times, just if you just blip the throttle just a little bit, it's a lot easier to maintain control of your vehicle and keep it steady instead of drifting up, pushing the guy to the outside out a little bit farther, maybe giving him a brown pants moment, as we call it, is kind of scares one another. But the top 5 right now, 2x2, as at 71 leads the pick.
Yeah, the 72 or the 77 on the outside.
Excuse me, it's a 21.
Oh, the 21. Nash Brambilla leading the inside lane. You got a 3-car breakaway, and already look at that. As soon as we got past that lap number 2, the 34 of Michael Triscaro, and I believe it's going to be John Mulholland making that outside lane work, but no, not going to be able to get there this time by, as Michael Triscaro able to jump back in line and leave the number 60 machine out to dry, as he's getting some help finally deep in the pack.
Yeah, and a lot of times, you go out there and hoping that your teammate or friend or whoever is out there to kind of help you or get you pushing, but you see how fast, one can go from, the front to the back, as they are 3 wide, and it looks like the 6 is getting a pretty good run there to the middle.
Yeah, the 28 of Jason Maines making his name known here super early. Didn't really get to see a lot of that number 28 machine, but look at that, sliding up to the middle is going to be the number 77. That's a dangerous move, kind of opening up the wheel, letting the truck slide on up with the run still coming through the middle, able to get and block that run that the middle lane would have. The 03 is going to drop down to the inside. That's going to leave Andrew Navarro in the 77 to play pick in the middle. And now we're 3 wide for the race lead. Is the 03 going to make it 4 wide? He gets trapped in the circle hole, and watch how quickly he drops to the back. Everybody driving past him. They don't want nothing to do with him. They're like, you know what?
You got loose. You made a mistake. You can go to the back. So right now they're 4 wide. It's that 03 is trying to hold steady. Look at these guys. It's like a danger waiting to happen. Come on, hold on to it, boys. You got it.
Oh, man. Ron Morris Jr. almost caught the bad end of the stick there. Able to keep it clean, though. He did a smart thing, dropped it below the yellow line, let everybody get their momentum back and collect their senses. as once would say. And that number 6 machine going through the middle, going to make his way up towards the front. Not sure who it is, as that is Bobby Forbes. And the number 6 machine from the Mid-South trying to make his presence known up here towards the front.
Yeah, they're going to break off down to the bottom again as going into turn. So that 10 car is going to have to take his time, work his way up to the top and back onto the track. So he might fall out of the draft as he had to get down there low. Another one moves down to the inside as they work their way down the backstretch.
Yeah, Andrew Navarro and the number 25 going down to the inside, going to be in the back. And I don't know if that's a smart move with the 3 wide bouncing around up in front. I think it would be, as of right now, you got a little bit of a distance, so you got some time to check up. It's just the people behind you, if they can't see through that truck, they're not going to be able to tell if you're going to check up for a wreck. Is the number 6 gets a nice bump from John Ward in the number 92, still 3 wide for the first 5 rows.
Again, I want to give a shout out to the fans out there. Blaze Blaster, Barry, Robert Miller going from the McCullough Motorsports. He said, hell yeah, let's go. So they're looking to support the McCulloughs out here as they got a few drivers in the field. So another great race going on right now as Kenneth McCullough leading the field over Nash Brambilla and Jason Maines along with David Sheets.
Yeah, it's still 3 by 3 all the way through the field. I'm going to go ahead and ride on board with the number 6 as we go on board on the nose camera of the number 6 machine of Bobby Forbes. Just to see what he's seeing. And right now, if I was in the middle of this and I knew there was a lot of expertise drivers in front of me that run a lot of plate racing, I would be kind of nervous. You know, if I'm not one that runs a lot of plate tracks, I would want to be as smooth on the wheel as I possibly can, as we're catching up to lap traffic. You know, we didn't see that last race. Now we're going to see it here. What is the lap traffic going to do? Is he going to drop down below the yellow line? Or no, he's going to drop it all the way up to the top. So we're going to be 4 wide here momentarily as the 19 comes up and tags the 6. Slows it down the momentum, and they're actually going to get through this lap traffic fairly easy. As you can see there, the number 50 machine going to go down 1 lap. The 6 and 92 getting together just a little bit, able to keep it straight. Towards the back, though, Devin Ray in the number 22, rolling the outside in the Slim Jim machine. Or, no, I lied. The Slim Jim machine's the number 11, or 100. It just happened to, you know, camera angle kind of caught me off guard there. But Devin Ray, One Stop Motor Shops on the outside, trying to make something happen here. Kind of sitting in the middle of the pack, kind of wants to just get some laps underneath his belt and see what he can do to get back up here towards the front. Got into it just a little bit with the number 2 of Cole Fitzpatrick, and they're just kind of flying everywhere as Andrew Navarro making his way back up towards the front as he went to the back to get out of the melee. Now he's right, like smack dab right in the middle of it.
Yeah, they're 3 by 3 for six rows back behind the leader. Oh, and he's going to go down off the apron to 2. It's going to be very careful to try to come up. Oh, there's a big wreck.
Yard sale, just like 7 C's events said. Yard sale coming in soon. And there it is.
It's just that fast. I mean, he was quick too. It was like there's nothing you could do. When you're 3 wide like that, one little mistake.
Yeah, you see there, I believe that was Nash Brambell. No, that was John Ellis. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who it was. But anyways, they go down. The 19 gets loose. Turns the 76 up into the 42. The 42 hits the 6 up into the outside wall. The 6 is selling his quarter panels for a little bit of cash, at least his entry fee here tonight. So if you do so, want to buy a nice autographed quarter panel, make sure you hit up Mr. What was his name? Oh, man, what was his name? I can't. Oh, Bobby Forbes. Hit up Bobby Bobby Forbes for all of your needs on some of those quarter panel stairs. You'll have them autographed for you after the race.
Man, it's just unfortunate what happened in that wreck. You know, it's just that quick. You know, you're 3x3. Somebody loses just a little bit and drifts up too far and tags somebody, and just.
I don't know about you, Jimmy, but I'm seeing a little bit of deja vu. The first race, our first caution, lap 11. The second race, first caution, lap 11.
Is it lap 11? Oh, I didn't even pay attention.
So we got something going good for us here, you know, lap 11. And I believe the next caution was 2 or 3 laps after, and then we had a green-white checkered. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be something to watch. You know, everybody going to go down pit lane.
Unlike last race, Dylan, where the leaders are coming down in the pits. Everybody is coming down in the pits. We're going to take some fresh tires, some fuel. I mean, I can see a little bit of strategy going everywhere. You know, if somebody's just trying to get some spots, maybe they're taking fuel only. Maybe they're only taking rights. Maybe they'll take lefts. I mean, there's a different strategy for somebody out there, as racing is not only, you know, a little bit of talent on the track, but there's a lot of pit strategy involved, and sometimes the race can be won in the pits, especially under green flag situations.
Yeah, it really can be, and you know, I've done it countless of times, and I run so many officials, and I couldn't tell you how many times we've had a pit under green at Pocono this week, and I have blown through my pit stall. Getting into pit road is one thing. Getting into your pit stall is a whole nother thing. Like, you know, you're going from 170 mile an hour down to 55, and then you got to go from 55 down to 0 without sliding the tires or stopping a little bit too late, but nonetheless.
So yeah. I'm in one of those leagues. I'm talking about pit stops and sliding through pit entries or pit stalls. I'm in a league where you're not allowed to drive through more than 2 pit stalls, kind of like a regular NASCAR event. You know, they don't allow, because in iRacing, if you've played or if you're kind of curious, you might see drivers drive all the way down through all the stalls. And basically what that is like it's an invulnerable zone. So like if a truck or car is down there, you drive through each other. There's no damage, there's no nothing, no slowdowns, no nothing. It just, everybody can kind of just go through one another without any damage. And it's a good thing, because pitting it can be difficult, especially if that was not an effect. But yeah, the league that I'm in, they do the best they can. They make it pretty realistic. And if you use more than 2 stalls, you end up getting penalized.
Yeah. I mean, you know, leagues normally tend to have the rule, everybody must stay to the right of pit road until they get, you know, obviously with iRacing, you'll have the pit board counted down for you, like your spotter. For me personally, I use overlay, so I have the sim racing apps overlay, so that just counts down for me. I have my spotter just on text, so it doesn't kind of mix me up there. But you know, a lot of people use that to their advantage, other people don't. I do it, and I still overblow my pits. So
speaking of overlays, I used to use sim racing apps as well. As one of the free applications that you can use while using iRacing. But I moved to an app called iOverlay, and it has a lot of good options on there, and it's very close to like Race Labs. And it's another free application. There's a place on there you can give the guy a dono. You just basically buy him a coffee, say thanks for the work that he does and puts out. As he did a really good job and provides a lot of good information. And I think the biggest thing that I love about it so far is how accurate the fuel calculator is.
Yeah, and you know, that's always a good thing to have, is, you know, a working fuel calculator. I mean, you know, obviously the one in iRacing is just a little bit off. I use the one on sim racing apps. It is always absolutely phenomenal until you get this little thing called auto fuel and all that stuff inside of iRacing. I turned mine off in the INI file. After one race, it kind of screwed me all up, and I was 2 laps short. And I was like, yeah, never again. Never again will I use auto fuel. And, you know, I went in through, shut it off, so now I don't have to worry about that or anything like that. But 13 laps in, under our first caution, Alex Hill has taken the lead. David Sheets is going to be P number 2. Everybody went in, sat in the pit lane to get their damaged fixed. Don't want to use that fast repair too early. But it's going to be the number 77 and the 06. Round number 1 between these two drivers. Going to go through the tri-oval to get this race back under green. Barney's got the green flag in his hand and through the Geico restart zone. It is back to racing here as the 77 is going to get a good jump on the inside lane. Going to be able to clear the top lane, but that's only going to be for momentarily as that top lane really gets up through the gears, able to get back to the quarter panel maybe of the number 77, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. As the 77 actually gets pushed up from the bottom up to the top. And John Ellis Jr. going to take the lead away from Alex Hill. John Malahan going to be all over the back bumper of John Ellis Jr.
So again, another fresh restart. They will maintain a 2x2 for 2 laps to keep this race re-rolling. As we are on lap 14 of 50, so plenty of racing still left here. Still got 36 laps remaining to finish this race off here tonight at Talladega in the Craftsman Truck Series. So Sean Hill leading over John Ellis, David Sheets, John Mulhan, Nash Bramble, Ryan Grob, Jason Maines, John Ward, Kenneth McCullough, and Logan New York being your top 10.
Yeah, looking like a pretty stout top 10 here as we're rolling through the camera shots. Is everybody going to protect that inside lane, win in as much as they possibly can? You see a couple of drivers going from the top to the bottom, trying to go with the run where they can. But it's going to be Alex Hill back to the point on the outside, using that outside to his advantage, able to keep them at bay towards the back of the pack, though they're already 3 wide. As getting away from the leader pack, and that's going to be, I believe, Zach. No, that's going to be Andrew Navarro and the 60 of who is it? Jeff Merck leading that secondary pack back here. Going to just hopefully get into a single file line and try to catch this lead pack.
Yeah, see, they're 3 wide back there. You know, it makes things a little bit difficult as the front pack is 2x2, side by side. You know, again, we talked a little bit about patience earlier, and I think if they use a little bit of patience now, click off some of these laps, and then battle this thing a little bit later on, as we are only we're about to finish lap 16 of 50.
Yeah, lap 16 out of 50, and, you know, patience is a big key word here tonight. As, you know, looking up towards the front here, everybody's still kind of keeping it calm. They're past that 2-lap mark where they can go back to 3 wide if they wish, but looks like everybody just wants to kind of stay calm 2x2. So obviously, Jimmy, some of these drivers are listening to the broadcast, hearing you say all about this patience, but it looks like John Ward, the 03, the 10, and others are, you know, like, you know what? Let's give the broadcasters a show here tonight as they're going to bounce it out to 3 wide. So you got 4 trucks on the top, and you got a whole slew of cars, or, well, trucks, down on the inside and in the middle.
Yeah, it's... You know, the front pack here going 3x3 allowed that second group to catch up. So now you have a big old cluster of trucks getting around here. Plenty of excitement as these trucks continue to bounce, weave back and forth. You know, trying to choose what truck in front of them to go with, or if you're leading, what line to kind of follow or block, or just take the best line to maintain your lead out front as they keep bouncing back and forth. So a lot of choices to be made, a lot of kind of like a mini chess game, and what to do, what decisions to make to put yourself in the best situation possible to win this thing at the end.
Yeah, looking at the rear view board of the number 92, John Ward, and all I can say is that is a big hornet's nest right behind the race leader, as he has actually fallen back to P number 3, as they are 3 wide for the race lead. Kenneth McCullough is currently your race leader, but that inside line getting the push and pull that they need to pull around that inside lane, and you can kind of see a couple of rows 3 wide, but other than that, the top 4 rows want to be double file all the way through the track. I've seen a couple of side drafting moves as the 21 gets super close to that number 8 machine. Same with the number 77 on the outside of John Ward and the number 92. Trying to use the side draft to his advantage, just not able to get back around John Ward down on the inside. As these drivers...
sorry, I had a big old yawn there at the end. I was like trying to talk and I was just yawning. I'm like, silence!
I know the feeling. I know the feeling, especially, you know, being at work all day and then coming home and doing a broadcast. You're just like, all right, let me just finish this yawn real quick.
I mean, I didn't have to work today, but I got up early. I did some practice because my team decided to change cars and setups at the last moment. As our first attempt at the Spot 24 did not go very well, so we decided to change vehicles, and so I did the best I could in practice for about an hour or so this morning, and then kind of chilled until the race began, and then went from there. But right now, the guys are not looking to be yawning and making sure they are laser focused here. This Kenneth McCullough, John Ward, and Alex Hill as they lead these pack of trucks around here at Talladega.
Yeah, leading them around, and there goes the move down to the inside. Kenneth McCullough back down to the inside, block off the run, but now you got a McCullough Motorsports truck 1, 2 down on the inside with the Alex Hill machine on the outside, followed along by the number 06 of David Sheets, and around goes Kenneth McCullough, and that's going to collect a lot of trucks. Yard sale, NASA, everybody come and collect the pay dirt down here as sheet metal is all over the track here at Talladega.
Well, I don't know if it's sheet metal, but these guys are definitely dancing. As you got some smoke going on, it's simultaneously spinning. I was kind of in the back of the pack, so if you would take a replay of that one, Dylan, and just click on Jeff Merrick and just watch the field just kind of fold in front of him and like dance as they go around and just spin and spin and spin. So got a few damaged cars out there that are smoking, and you know, everybody's got to get kind of caught up and get back in the pits and get these vehicles fixed so they could finish the race. But we're working on that halfway mark there, Dylan, as we're on lap 22 of 50 with Alex Hill out front over John Ward and David Sheets.
Yeah, you know, I just watched it from John Ward's camera view, and all I can say is job well done by Jeff Merck. I mean, instantly got on the binders, got the truck well down, but it was just a result of a bad bump by the number 92, sending the 03 around the 2, John Mollahan, up to the outside. Pirouetting goes the 03, and just behind him, kind of to melee, is yard sales going on. Nobody Days of Thundered the holes that were created, and you know, it may have looked like a bigger wreck, but not a lot of hurt trucks out here. As John Mollahan, no front clip whatsoever on that Chevy Silverado, so he's going to probably go down into pit lane, get that fast repair, and get back out here and run more laps.
Yeah, you know what? One thing I would like to see, and not that I, want these guys to wreck by any means, but is a good old-fashioned blowover.
You know, that would actually be pretty cool. Like, I haven't really seen a blowover in the trucks. It's very rare in the truck. You gotta like kind of hit the wall at the right angle and get hit at the same time. So I mean,
the 03 did like a good 360 up on two wheels, but still no blowover. As obviously the modern technology of the flaps keep these trucks pretty well grounded, even here in iRacing. But for a fact, we're running the old school 87s. If you get the back end of that car turned around, up and over it will go.
Oh yeah, it's actually pretty fun to do, honestly. If I tend to stay away from the official side of things with the 87s at Talladega or Daytona, just because there's that thing called a blowover. When it goes over, you're just along for the ride. I mean, you get that car turned the opposite way, going at I believe it's like 225 mile an hour. Just hold on. That's all I can say. You're going to lose a tire, you're going to lose a fender, a hood, a rear fender. You're going to lose everything on that car. Everything's going to come off the car. You're going to be up in the air. You're not going to know which way is right. It's actually a lot of fun. Now, doing it to other people... I mean,
I just feel sorry for the guys that, some people run virtual reality glasses, and, some of the accidents that happen here, I mean, could you just be dizzy? And, I mean, if you're not ready for it, heck, it might even make you sick.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing that I'm kind of glad I'm not in VR. I don't think I could handle the spinning or I just couldn't. I don't know if I could handle that. You hand me my single monitor screen and I'll be all right. Just let the immersion, as the once Chris Hamilton would say, immersion, handle the rest. As everybody knows Chris went from VR to triples, and now he doesn't get motion sickness like how he did in VR. So. Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about VR. I don't know if I could handle it. I might get motion sickness and be like...
It takes a little bit of talent, but I tell you what, there's just the other day, and I'm always trying to keep up the technology, but I did see a company called Big Screen that came out with a new VR headset. I don't think the specs are the greatest, but they are extremely small. They're like a quarter of the size of your standard VR headsets, and you have to use a phone app, and you scan your face, and they basically get a personalized mold to stick on these glasses, so you can so they form fit around your face, but they're only a little bit bigger than they're like a set of safety goggles, I guess, if you want to say, and they're real small. They look really comfortable and lightweight, and I just know how heavy that some of them VR headsets can get. I know there's I think it's I forget the name of it. I think maybe it'll come to me, but this thing looks massive on somebody's face. As they try to provide the best resolution and performance they can from VR, and get people into that environment and for that immersion, as we've been told by some of the drivers out there. But right now the lights are off in the pace car. Alex Hill and John Ellis Jr. will lead these drivers to restart the race here on lap 24.
Well, yeah, lap 24 out of 50, approaching halfway through the second race of the night. Laps are clicking by. Pace car down into pit lane. They get ready to come in through the tri-oval here. You're going to see them come onto the screen, and there they are, going through the restart zone. Barty's going to wave the green flag, and we're back to racing here for the final half of tonight's segment. And it looks like Alex Hill on the outside trying to get a better jump than the inside. He does so. Him and Jason Maines go to lead the outside pack, but the 77 go to leave Jason Maines on the outside to go down with the number 24 of John Ellis Jr. And that outside is currently rolling and having the more momentum going down the backstretch.
And these guys are just shifting from one lane to the other. They're still under the 2-lap restart rule here, as they are not allowed to go 3 wide. As just got some rules here at the FEG PC event. So these guys doing a fantastic job following those rules and trying to get around, trying to click off more of these laps as we have completed lap 25, working out on lap 26. So we are officially at the halfway mark, looking to finish up the event here tonight at Talladega.
Yeah, looking back here, Kenneth McCullough Jr. back to 22nd position.
Jason Maines goes around.
Oh, big caution there. Yard sale, maybe? I don't see any fenders rolling around the track. So no yard sale. Jason Maines says, no, I'm not selling any of my stuff, so go ahead and keep it, as he goes around for a little bit of a spin. I'm going to go ahead and go back to a quick CRN replay to see what was the cause of this lap melee. It looks like the 77 going to go all the way up the track, blocks the run of Jason. Jason's going to go dive it down to the inside to not get him, but netcode plays a big factor, and Jason Maines up and around he goes, hard on the outside wall. The rear tires actually came up off the ground, just no blowover. That, obviously Jimmy wants to see a blowover.
I just want to see the blowover. No, I mean, I'm going to have to find an 87 league and see if they can give me the blowover that I want. But yeah, the 77 making a lot of swaps there, and Jason had a run and kind of pushed him down, got him loose a little bit down the car, and then getting pretty hard into the wall there, and everybody's scattering, trying to stay out of the calamity, as we have got a few cautions here tonight, as these guys are really trying hard to get to the front of the pack here tonight.
Yeah, everybody trying to get back to the front. They started up towards the front. They want to be back up there. They want to dodge the calamity, but to dodge the calamity, you must get through the calamity, as a lot of these drivers were not able to do so this time by, as the caution will wave once again here at Talladega. Want to give a big shout out to everybody out there watching, commenting, following along each and every day and week through CRN, no matter the league or race that we are showing. Want to give everybody a big shout out. Want to give a big shout out to all the subscribers that have subscribed to CRN. Without you guys, CRN would be nothing. Want to give a big shout out to Jeff Scott for allowing CRN to step in and broadcast their money races. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, subscribe button, turn on all bell notifications so you guys don't miss anything that CRN has to offer throughout the week on CRN.
Another wreck. So it looks like Alex will get a EOL for that last accident, as I guess he has been deemed the person who caused it. So we'll just put him to the back of the pack. But again, plate racing is not necessarily a bad thing to be in the back, and with 23 laps still remaining, plenty of time to get back to the front.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of time to get back up to the front. Anything can and will happen, as it's plate track racing, just like you said. Anything can happen. It's just, when will it happen? We've seen the big one last race. We haven't seen the big one this race. We've seen a lot of cars get torn up, but nothing like what we've seen last race and last week on the final lap. I believe only 2 cars made it across the start finish line under their own power. So will we see a repeat of that? And I don't know. I mean, we looking at the chat, we got a lot of people going for the number 100 of that is going to be Isaac Smith. We got some people going up for the number 77 of Alex Hill. So a lot of drivers getting a lot of friends and family involved in these races. I've seen a couple of people voting for Nash to win this race here tonight. So a lot of these drivers have some companions in the racing chat, voting them on to see if they can capitalize on a bunch of money here tonight for race number 2.
And the lights are still on the pace car as everybody continues to finish off their pit stops, getting repairs done, getting their trucks to the best shape possible. As we are over halfway done, we're working on lap 29 of 50, But right now, the drivers out front are John Ellis, David Sheets, John Mullahan, Jeff Merrick, Isaac Smith, Art Greco, Dustin Cruthers, Kenneth McCullough Jr., Michael Triscaro, and Ron Morris Jr. for your top 10. Then you have Austin Floyd, Ryan Grob, John Honeycutt, Bobby Forbes, Cameron Blanchett, David Bell, Zach Range, Sean Hill, Joseph Allen, and Chad Ross for your top 20. And John Ward, Cody Reed, Logan York, Dylan Jones, Devin Ray, Cole Fitzpatrick, Andrew Navarro, Jason Maines, and Nash Brambilla for our 29 truck field here tonight so far at Talladega. So we're getting there, Dylan, as the laps continue to click by, as I believe everybody on the same lap.
Another thing
everybody's still on the same lap. So anybody can win this, from driver, the guy out front to the guy in the back.
Yeah, it's just placing your vehicle at the right place at the right time. As Andrew Navarro is going to start making his way back up to the pack. And I don't know if Navarro's got any damage on that number 42. I'm going to go ahead and look back here at Mr. Navarro. He looks to have a little bit of... No, his truck is completely fixed. So Andrew Navarro, fresh new truck, who this? Going to try to make his way up to the front, but it's going to be John Ellis Jr. and David Sheets on your front row. Going to bring these drivers back to the green flag, getting ready to go through the Geico restart zone here at Talladega for the final 20 laps of the final feature here tonight. John Ellis Jr. gets a great jump down on the inside. Jeff Merck all over his back bumper, but he's got the 06 David Sheets and John Mullahan on the outside, trying to play spoiler up there on that outside. You can already see Ron Morris Jr. back there in P number 10, making his way down to the inside, as the inside lane has a little bit more trucks down there, as the outside lane is still going to be able to prevail.
Yeah, I'm right on board with Andrew. I'm kind of watching ahead, using my chase camera, as just kind of watching the trucks kind of dance back and forth in front of Andrew, and it really does get interesting, and to see how much the trucks will bounce from, like, lane to lane. When you're driving, you don't think you move that much, and a lot of guys are bouncing more than a truck width, either up to the outside, and you think it'd be easy just to drive around and all on the same line, but it's amazing how much the draft and the aero really affects how a vehicle handles.
Yeah, definitely going to affect the way something happens here, as we're riding towards the back of the pack with Dylan C. Jones. He's going to bounce it to the outside. He's got a big run, but he's got to check up just a little bit.
There goes another one in the back.
Another one in the back.
19.
That's going to be the 19 and the 25. Is it going to be enough to cause a caution? Don't see the yellow flag waving just yet. Everybody going to keep it green here tonight, as they're not going to throw the caution. They're going to keep them green. Everybody able to roll, as the 19 trying to get his way back up through the gears, as we're going to go ahead and take a look back here, see what happened to the number 19, see how bad the damage was, as looking on board the 02 and the 19 bump drafting. 19 comes down, just collects the 25 yard sale down on the inside, collects the 25 again, but no caution called for that race, as they're 3 wide up towards the front, riding on board with Dylan Jones, as he's got a big hornet's nest right up in front of him. He's sitting in a good spot, though. He's kind of back further, and yeah, just like you said, 4 wide. Definitely not the move, maybe, but now they're going to single it back down to 3 wide, as they are 3 wide for about 10, 12 rows.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are, it's getting closer. So, they're wanting to get out front, start setting up their position, putting themselves in, in a spot where they can make a run to be out front and possibly get some of the winnings here tonight. But some of the guys are still maintaining the best they can in that bottom lane. So I see Jason Maines we're just kind of hanging out in the back as he's trying not to push his luck, as he knows how things can change here at the end of a race as everybody is pushing for a win. So, but right now, John Ellis Jr. out front with David Sheets and John Mollahan.
Yeah, looking down at the YouTube chat, everybody's saying, let's go Isaac Smith. So far, Isaac Smith looking to take the race leads, currently sitting P number 5, rounding the outside, trying to get that outside to roll. He's got Michael Triscaro on his back bumper, so they're going to try to get that outside lane on and moving. I'm going to go ahead and drop on it back. Oh, Dean Grob, hard of the wall. He's going to almost save it. That's going to bring out another caution, and you see everybody just skitter and scatter everywhere. As we're going to go ahead and jump back to a CRN replay. As soon as I went to that driver, Dean Grob, that's when it all turned ugly, as Dean Grob up to the outside wall getting pushed around. Ron Morris takes out the number 77 of Alex Hill, the 6 collecting the 76, simultaneously spinning on around, pirouetting a 540 for the number 76 and the 77. But nonetheless, not a lot of drivers getting involved, so still waiting for the big one to happen. But hey, it's okay.
I'm sure these drivers don't want the big one to happen, and a lot of them trying to get out of the way. You can see a few of them getting sideways, the 77 and the 76. Basically tandem spins there, trying to collect their cars as other drivers head to the apron to avoid the 76 and 77 spinning. So good job there by the 42 working his way through the field of Andrew Navarro, missing the wreck.
Yeah, and I just gave the 9 the broadcaster's curse. Hopped on his truck, and all of a sudden he just went sideways. So
it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah,
it's almost like you can click the guy and go, wow, and like the truck spins. It's like it's amazing. It's amazing how some people out there driving and listening to us talk as we're calling the race. Maybe they got a plane in the background, or maybe their friends or family are watching on the TV why they're on their rig or whatever. But it's just something. You give the guys some attention, you start saying how good they're doing, and then next thing you know, they're spinning around and have to go into pits, or they're done for the night. So yeah, we call it the broadcaster's curse, and it's not like we want to curse anybody, but it just seems to happen on the regular way too often with any race that you broadcast, as all these trucks are trying to get off pit lane here without getting into each other. So Dylan Jones doing a great job basically avoiding some people as they're coming in and getting out. So you can see how hectic lane can be, as you can see the trucks coming in, trucks going out, and crossing each other's paths. So it's kind of one reason I think iRacing did make the pit stalls kind of like an invincible area, so you can't wreck and take people out.
Yeah, there's definitely something, you got to keep an eye out. And, there's one driver that I wish was out here because he's always got a cool looking perspective, and that's Garrett Maines, the son of Jason Maines. The man wears a GoPro on the top of his head while he's racing the Coke Series money. Any kind of racing he races, the man's got a GoPro on the top of his head. You want to talk about a different style of, what you're seeing when you're in the sim. Obviously anybody can go live on YouTube and show you the FOV or POV of what you see inside the truck, but this man Garrett Maines puts a GoPro on the top of his head, and you can see just how much he's turning his wheel inputs, the shifting, everything. Sitting in front of the triple screen, he's doing what he's got to do, and it's just an absolute, I think it's the coolest type of racing that I've ever seen. Like, they'll, for instance, when he's doing the Coke Series, they'll bring him on board, and that's all you see is the GoPro on top of his head, showing a different view that nobody really ever gets to see. Now obviously NASCAR does the same thing where let's say Denny Hamlin will have a little GoPro on the visor of his helmet and you can see just how much his head moves at different tracks. It's giving you that type of feel without having the feel of a race car in between surrounding you. So definitely a big kudos to him for giving us that input. And I would have liked to see Mr. Garrett Maines out here running tonight just to show us that perspective that he's got going on. But 37 laps out of 50, John Mullihan and Kenneth McCullough. Kenneth McCullough, the one that spun about, I don't know, what, Jimmy, 10, 12 laps ago, has found his way back up to the front with the Georgia Bulldogs on his truck, and now he's back in contention to win this thing.
Yeah, and like you said, it's all about being, in the front at the end. So you can be in the back, you can be in the front from the start. You can make your way to the back. And as you can tell here tonight, they've had their fair share of caution flags and doing some pace laps out here, working on their trucks, trying to do what they can to see if they are lucky enough to have their vehicle in the right position to actually win here. So right now you're seeing John Mullihan and Kenneth McCullough back out front, along with John Ward and Chad Ross here. We're working on lap 37 right now.
Yeah, working on lap number 37 out of 50. John Mullihan down, electing to take the inside. You got Kenneth McCullough on the outside. Row number 2 is going to be John Ward and Chad Ross. Chad Ross is another driver that we have not talked about all race long. And then Andrew Navarro and Jason Maines back up in the top 10. A lot of these drivers, you don't really get to see a lot of, and you're going to see what these drivers are made of. There's coming to take lap number 38. Still got to do the 2 wide situation. But once they hit lap 40 and we have another caution, anything goes. No hold bars. But as of right now, pace car down into pit lane. He's going to scurry on off. Let these drivers get up through the gears, through the tri-oval, into the Geico restart zone. John Mullihan and Kenneth McCullough going to lead these drivers back to the green flag, and we are back to racing here for the final 13 laps of the FEG Custom PC Money Race at Talladega. John Mullihan and John Ward get out to a pretty healthy lead. Down on the inside, going to pull Andrew Navarro along as the 06 David Sheets makes his way down to the inside.
Yeah, still being over the 10 lap minimum to restart this race. These drivers will have to maintain that 2 wide racing here for at least 2 laps. But right now, John and John are out front leading the pack, as it looks like we got a few more trucks on that outside, but I'm sure that there are going to be people looking to fill in that gap down on the bottom side, pulling alongside those trucks. So you can see the few trucks down there now starting to close in the gap there, making this thing 2 by 2 all the way back to the field. But this driver's right now, Dylan, that they're thinking about how can I get my vehicle to the front, and we have 12 laps to do it.
Yeah, 12 laps to do it. As you gotta be strategic about what you do. You can see there Andrew Navarro all over the back bumper, the number 92 of John Ward. Wants to stay right up on that back bumper, but doesn't want the truck to get overheated with trucks not having the tape issues anymore. They kind of just run the race tape and they have the qualifying tape. But you don't want to be all up on that back bumper just that way your truck kind of starts to overheat. You're going to slow your RPM down. You're not going to be able to have the big enough run. As Kenneth McCullough to the outside. Oh, Jason Maines almost gets turned by the number 77, able to have a quick snap of the wrist and get that truck back straight again, as John Mullihan controlling this field both top and bottom lane, but that's going to open up the bottom lane of John Ward and Andrew Navarro.
Yes, and now these trucks 3 wide again, as we have crossed the threshold in the final stages of the race. Looking at almost when they complete this lap, we will have 10 laps remaining. But right now, John Mullen and John Ward are leading the pack. Another accident ensues. Somebody's going to go down to the infield. The 60 is going to go mow the lawn there for a little bit, come back up. The 73 gets back on track as the caution is flown.
The 10 gets absolutely railed by the 6. And, oh man, that championship implications, as one person would say.
I wonder who that is.
I wonder who that would be. I know it ain't me. But we're actually going to go ahead and rewind to this just a little bit because SDK decided to play it a little bit. But the first person I've seen get a little bit loose is going to be the number 77 of Alex Hill. You see him in their middle in the number 77 Craftsman truck. He's up in the middle. The 22 gets a bad bump. Gets up into the number 77. 77 is going to go down, get a little bit loose, overcorrect up towards the top, almost tags the 50. He gets around it. The 60 gets tagged. The 77, by the way, able to save it completely save the truck until the 10 the 77 got loose, but was able to save the truck completely. So big, just heck of a drive by the number 77 to keep that truck at bay. And then towards the end of this, the 3 gets tagged by the 10. The 10 just slides up. The 100 machine tags the 10, Isaac Smith. And the 6, Arca brake, no lift, highway through the danger zone. I'm going for it. And pow to the rear end of that number 10, just coming to a complete stop. And at that rear end, you can see it there, is completely cabroke.
Yeah, there's not much they can do. And like I said, the wrecks here at Talladega can be very extreme, as over-exaggerated by the speed and how close everybody is. So the fact that the trucks are still rolling is a pretty good sign that we still have a lot of people that can win tonight.
Yeah, everybody's still in contention to get the race win. As if you were involved in this last wreck and you happen to save that fast repair and kept it in your back pocket, I think would now be the time, if you were involved in that wreck, Jimmy, depending on your damage, would now be the time to use that fast repair, or are you just going to try to fix as much damage as you can and hope for another caution?
It really depends on how bad I think my vehicle is. If I still have my fast repair in my pocket, taking on what the other last race was like, and what this race has been so far, the cautions keep ensuing, and I'm sure the drivers are getting frustrated, as all plate races can be. A lot of times, sometimes it gets to a point where the drivers aren't having too much fun, and they're getting really frustrated because they're trying to do the best they can, and a lot of times you might even say that somebody did something and it was actually netcode and it really wasn't anything somebody did, or the wreck just kind of collapsed and you got collected at no fault of your own or anybody else in front of you. Just because of how fast everything is, just kind of get collected. But right now we are winding down. We're working on lap 42 of 50. John Mulhan in the lead over John Ward, Kenneth McCullough, Andrew Navarro, Chad Ross, Jason Maines, David Sheets, John Ellis Jr., Jeff Merrick, and Alex Hill for your top 10. So, they're still at it, folks. A lot of the drivers, a lot of people that I'm seeing out there, people are rooting for, are still in the hunt for the win yet here tonight. So we're just going to see if they can get through these fender benders and get a good old win, or at least a top 3.
Yeah, definitely going to be something fun here to watch, as we're going to go watch from the drone cam as these drivers going to get double filed up. And Jimmy, I got to ask, out of all these drivers that still are in the race, give me a favorite to win and give me a dark horse. Yeah, see,
that's like, yeah, like, all right. So like, it's the dark horse would be Michael Triscaro, the guy in the back. Can he make it from the back to the front in less than 6 laps to win this thing, or get himself a good podium finish? As far as a winner here tonight, I don't know. Maybe Jason Maines is, I think, a good call. As he's seems to be one of those drivers that finds himself up in the front at the end. But does he have the luck that he had last weekend to pull off a win? Because last night his luck kind of ran real thin as he went from 3rd to 9th and wasn't able to pull off a podium finish. But we'll see if Jason Maines can pull that lucky card out again and see if he can put his truck back in victory lane.
Yeah, those are actually 2 top picks, but me, I think I'm going to go with the number 4 as my dark horse, Dylan C. Jones. Not because his name's Dylan, but the man has been back to the front. But the favorite, I'm going to have to go with Mr. Kenneth McCullough Jr. and then number 03, Georgia Bulldogs. He's been on fire for these money races here and would like to see him cap off one of these wins. But we can only tell in about 6 laps time as John Mollahan and John Ward, the John and John show, going to bring these drivers back to the green flag through the Geico restart zone, hopefully for the first time or for the last time under pace lap conditions. Getting ready to go back green, and we are back to racing here. A little bit of wheel spin from the top 2. They kind of fan out and not wanting to be side by side, having a little bit of side draft there as everybody in the back fighting for position. Going from the top to the bottom to the top as Andrew Navarro all over the back bumper of that number 92. The 03 Kenneth McCullough all over the back bumper, but here comes Jason Maines, the number 8 Jason Maines, the number 24 and the 77 on the outside, going to play sucker hole to the number 92 into 42, and Jason Maines playing sucker hole to the number 2 as well, as they are going to go from the front and get shuffled back. And that was a dangerous move by the number 38 Chad Ross, making his they're wrecking towards the back, and there they go. Yard sale, $35 holding up a nickel as we are back under caution for another time, as it looks like Austin Floyd did get involved here. Going to go ahead and rewind to this just a little bit and to see what happened coming off turn number 4, as Austin Floyd down on the inside, the bright pink and purple machine just slides up just a little bit, maybe a little bit of neck coat from Ron. No, the 21 actually got tagged by the 100 just a little bit, and pow goes the 100 into the wall, and the 88 the 88 smacks the 76, and yard sale front clip, 35 and 99, 4 easy installment payments of $19.99 gets you exactly what you need, as yard sale is presented by FEG Custom PCs. Get them while they're hot.
Yeah, I don't know if Jeff be giving out his PCs for $19.99. But he might have a people plan for you. But just everything I've heard about Jeff and his business is he's one of the best out there. Great customer service, provides a great product, and has helped many iRacers out that are out there. So Jeff, does a lot for the community, not only with his business, but on these shows like this. Good old shout out to Jeff Scott and FEG PC as he continues to put on these money races for people to get involved in. So if you're interested in joining any of the races out here, or even sponsoring one of your drivers so they can run out here, have them get with Jeff Scott, join the Discord, and put in your money so you can get in these races here and have a little bit of fun. So, but anyways, we are going to be finishing this race up here, and it looks like, Dylan, we're going to be taking I think our last caution of the main race here is going to be a green-white.
Yeah, green-white checkers could mean a lot of different things. We seen it last race. We had, 2, maybe 3 green-white checkers, obviously these drivers don't want to have that reoccurrence happening again. So maybe they're going to keep it double file until that final lap, and then they're going to throw haymakers at each other. But the man out front is going to be Jason Maines with Chad Ross in P number 2. Third will be John Ellis Jr. Fourth will be John Mollahan. And running out your top 5 will be John Ward. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in P number 6. 7th will be Alex Hill. 8th, David Sheets. 9th, Andrew Navarro. And rounding out your top 10 will be Dylan Jones. 11th is going to be Jeff Merck. 12th, Cole Fitzpatrick. 13th will be John Honeycutt. 14th will be Devin Ray. 15th, Dustin Caruthers. 16th will be Logan York. 17th, Cody Reed. 18th, David Bell. 19th, Joey Allen. 20th, Austin Floyd. 21st is going to be Art Greco. 22nd will be Michael Triscaro. 23rd, Isaac Smith. 24th, Nash Brambilla. 25th, Ron Morris Jr. 26th is going to be Dean Grob. 27th, Bobby Forbes. 28th is going to be Zach Range. And running out your 29 cars here tonight is going to be Cameron Blanchett Gillette. So 29 cars making the race here tonight. 26 cars on track here, as a couple of them are still down pit lane getting most of that damage fixed as much as possible before heading back out here to the racing service.
It's still 26 trucks eligible to win this race, and anything can happen. As you can see, they are not under the 2-lap double wide window anymore. The lights are off on the pace car, as Chad Ross, Jason Maines, John Mollahan, Kenneth McCullough, John Ward, Sean Hill, David Sheets, Andrew Navarro, Dylan Jones, your top 10, and looking for one of those individuals to win here tonight at Talladega. But if they get involved and can't keep it clean, will somebody from the back be able to scoop up in those podium spots as we've seen before in the past?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of adversity happen on the last lap, especially last Saturday. I didn't get to catch the Friday night broadcast as I was racing during that broadcast, so wasn't able to catch any of the action. Might have to go back and watch it. Heard it was a good race all the way through. But out here tonight, 3 laps to go, green, white, checkered, and it's still anybody's race. How aggressive do you want to be, and where do you want to put your truck where it counts? You got to have people by the numbers if you want to get that third lane off and rolling. Is Jason Maines, Chad Ross, going to bring these drivers back to the green flag. And you see there Jason Maines rolling that apron, save a little bit more fuel just in case something does happen, like another green, white, checkered. Is pace car going to dip down off the racing surface. Jason Maines, Chad Ross going to lead these drivers back to the green flag, in and through the tri-oval, and get ready for a last 2-lap shootout here into the Geico restart zone. Barney's got the green flag, but it's going to be Jason Maines with the incredible jump down on the inside. Going to have John Ellis Jr. all over his back bumper, as the 38 didn't get a great restart, but going to keep strong with the number 24 there. Not going to let Jason Maines and the number 24 of John Ellis Jr. get out to a great lead, as the 24 and the 1, or they both jump to the outside. So strategic move there. Look at all the numbers going to the outside.
Everybody looking to make a big move, trying to use that.
Look at the side.
And the 60 goes down to the inside. Can he keep it thing going straight? It looks like he will be able to. Hopefully he can catch the draft and not be out of this race, as he was running up front in the top 10. But right now the guy out front is Jason Maines, as they come down to the start-finish line again. Now Chad Ross and Jason Maines swapping position.
Yeah, looking at it now, Jason Maines.
2 laps to go.
Jason Maines.
They're wrecking.
They're wrecking towards the back. caution flag will wave. As, oh boy, the anticipation's amping up here. As we're going to go ahead and go back to the yellow flag, see what happens. Is looking back towards the back. I seen the 2 got involved. So Cole Fitzpatrick. I'm going to go ahead and rewind this just to see what happened between these drivers going through the tri-oval. 3 wide. Looks like the 03 went down below. Oh, a little bit of net code between the 2 and the 10. Going to send the 2 and the 10. The 10 doesn't hit the wall. Comes back down. The door checks the number 2. That's going to send the number 10 up into the wall. The 2 is going to come back down. Corrects it to not hit the number 22. He's going to put himself into the wall. The 25 is going to go for a ride. And the 10 and 2. Oh, yard sale. Number 2. Rear deck lid off of the number 2 machine. He's going to spin it on around and cause this another yellow. But it's going to be Jason Maines and John Ellis controlling the field this time, as Chad Ross is going to fall back to P number 3.
Yeah, the drivers, trying to do the best they can. They kind of keep their vehicles going. The 2 is had the car collected as a 10, kind of kissed the back end of that vehicle and sent them around. It's just something that, like, at the end of the race, maybe you're running a great race, and maybe that's the only time you were involved in an incident all night, and it really breaks down on your heart just a little bit. You're like, man, I almost had it, and you get sent around, and if you don't have that fast repair in order to put you back in the fight again. But you can see how competitive these drivers are, like we keep talking about over and over again, and it's really about who's kind of like in that top 10, and can they keep it clean in order to get this thing finished. So everybody behind the top 10 is really trying to shoot to try to get that run to the outside or down to the inside, or just kind of clean up, hopefully the boys out front or drivers out front don't have a good finish there. So, but anyways, they're all getting collected up by the pace car again. You got Jason Maines, Chad Ross, John Ellis Jr., John Mullahan, John Ward, Andrew Navarro, David Sheets, and Dylan Jones, Kenneth McCullough Jr., and John Honeycutt for your top 10. And you had Devin Ray, Sean Hill, Michael Triscaro, Logan York, Nash Bramble, Bilia, David Bell, Joseph Allen, Art Greco, Ryan Grob, Isaac Smith, Jeff D. Merrick, Cody Reed, Dustin Caruthers, Austin Ford, Cole Fitzpatrick, Ron Morris Jr., all on the lead lap. Then Bobby Forbes, Zach Range, and Cameron Blanchett to finish out your field here tonight. So still 26 drivers on the lead lap. So that's 26 drivers that have the possibility to still win here tonight at Talladega.
Yeah, anybody can still win this race by a long shot. It's not over. It's the first green white checkered out of 10, and we've seen how crazy they can get. I'm pretty sure the drivers are relaying to everybody, hey, let's keep it calm for the first lap, get the white flag lap, and then let's go racing. And I think that's what these drivers want to see happen, as you see a lot of these drivers taking the apron to save a little bit more fuel. I don't think they can make it all 10 green white checkers unless they filled the truck full of fuel. So definitely going to be something to keep an eye on.
Jeff's calling Black Horse tonight. He says Black Horse tonight is Chad Ross.
Yeah, I started thinking about that. Like, I didn't see that name at all race long, and look at him. He's repping the number 38, Big shout out to him for repping the number 38,
He needs a new number.
No new number. He's running the best number of all time. He's running the number 38. I run the number 38. No, there's something with the number 38.
He has no patience like you.
I don't know about
that. But anyways, the lights are off on the pace car, and wait a minute, are they? Wait a minute. Yes,
pace car lights
on the pace car.
Off.
Yep. So they are starting to line back up. A lot of drivers hugging that hopefully they have enough fuel, as we are on a first attempt for a green-white checker to finish tonight's race off with Jason Baines and Chad Ross to lead this field.
Yeah, it's definitely. I kind of want to see. I want to see a really good photo finish. If we can get a nice photo finish here with, I don't care who wins, as long as it's a photo finish and everybody crosses the line with all wheels intact, but somebody doesn't blow over to keep you happy, we'll be all right.
Hey, maybe it's the dark horse. As he's saying, Jeff said, "Good luck." He was calling us the dark horse over Chad, and Chad wasn't too happy. He said he jinxed him, so we'll see if Chad can get to the jinx and be that dark horse that Jeff is calling out here tonight. And it's good to see that the drivers are having a little bit of fun, and even know that the tension is high as we come to a finish here.
Well, I will say, Chad's got a nickname. Chad the Hoss Ross.
Chad the Hoss Ross, huh?
I happened to look over to the YouTube comments, and Ford Entertainment Group, FEG, commented Chad the Hoss Ross. So now we got a little bit of a nickname for for some of these drivers. So Chad the Hoss Ross trying to make history here on the outside of Jason Baines. Green, white checkered attempt number 1 out of 10 here at Talladega. Jason Baines going to lead the drivers through the Geico restart zone. Into the box they go. Green flag's going to go, and look at the jump by Jason Baines. Going to be able to get clear with the number 24. So John Ellis and Jason Baines in complete control of the field. Up on the low side is going to be Chad, John Mullahan, and John Ward down on the inside. And here comes Andrew Navarro down to the inside. Going to get a great run. Chad Ross to the outside. Going to take him 3 wide for the race lead.
You think this is the very last lap, but it's not. It is Jason Baines playing a little bit of cat and mouse, allowing somebody to get out front so he can get the draft and the ability to get a slingshot around here. As you only have 2 trucks on that third line on the outside as they come down the final time through the tri-oval. Can they keep it clean without going
4 wide across the start finish line? Is going to be. This race is going to be official. Yes, the race is going to be official. But look, Chad the Hoss Ross dropping it back towards the back, and they're wrecking. Chad the Hoss Ross still in the race, though. So Dark Horse not getting involved. Jason Baines almost gets turned. Jason Baines on the outside. He's got John Mullahan down on the inside with Andrew Navarro pushing him. You got Jason with John Ellis Jr. on the outside, Andrew Navarro and John Mullahan on the inside. Who's going to lead him back to the checkered flag? Jason Baines down to the inside. Going to block the run, but here comes the number 24, John Ellis Jr. on the outside. For the final time off turn number 3 and 4 is going to be a drag race. John Ellis Jr. trying to get to the outside of Jason Baines. Not going to be able to be there. It's going to be a drag race side by side. Jason's going to be able to hold off John. He does. As it's going to be Jason Baines, John Ellis Jr., and John Mullahan. Your top 3.
I got it.
Man, did anybody blow over, though? We got to go back and watch these.
Nobody blew over, but Jason Baines did come away with victory tonight, pulling out that luck card yet again to get another win at Talladega in the truck. So congratulations to Jason Baines, John Ellis Jr., John Mullahan for being your 1, 2, 3. Then you have Alex Hill, Andrew Navarro, Kenneth McCullough, Dylan Jones, Chad Ross, John Honeycutt, and Michael Triscaro for your top 10.
Yeah, top 10. And then starting P number 11 is going to be Nash Brambilla. 12th will be Logan York. 13th, Cody Reed. 14th, John Ward. 15th, David Bell. 16th is going to be Dustin Carruthers. 17th, Isaac Smith. 18th, Cole Fitzpatrick. Wrong one. 19th will be Dean Grob. 20th, Austin Floyd. 21st, Art Greco. 22nd, Jeff Merck. 23rd, Devin Ray. 24th, Joey Allen. 25th, David Sheets. 26th, John Morris. 27th, Bobby Forbes. 28th will be Zach Range. And rounding out your 29 car field will be Cameron Blanchette Gillette. Just an absolute amazing photo finish, sort of finish there tonight. I mean, absolute phenomenal racing all the way in and through tonight's race. We got John Ellis finishing P2, but we got to get these interviews up here. Look for Mr. John Mollahan. Is he finished?
John has hopped in the waiting room as some of the other drivers asking if they need to go to the booth or not, and if they want to, they can, and if not, we'll be waiting on them. But right now, we're just waiting to see if they'll show up in the interview room, and we'll grab them and pull them up here and have a couple words with them. Give them congratulations and the time that they deserve for getting the win out here tonight, or even just finishing well. So. Like we said from CRN, congratulations to those top three and all the drivers that participated tonight, along with a big thank you to Jeff Scott and FEGBC for sponsoring tonight's race. So looking forward to talking to the drivers as they enter the interview room.
Yeah,
and do you have permission to drag them, Dylan?
I do have permission waiting on P number 3, but while we wait there, we can grab second place. That's going to be John Ellis. Broadcaster, there it is. John, this is Dylan and Jimmy Covert in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
All right, man. Walk us through that final lap. I mean, pretty much the whole race. I mean, you were up towards the front, you were back towards the back. You ended up getting the win the first race. And to back it up with a top 3 finish here tonight, you got to be pretty excited to have those green dollar bills in your hand now.
Yeah, it's nice when it comes together. Me and my team, we execute every single night, but it's unfortunately it's not often where it pays out on the green white checkered. Typically, when you're up front on a green white checkered, you're getting wrecked. So we were lucky to make it through both races tonight clean, and we got 1, 2 in this one, and I know I got first in the last one. Can't remember where the teammates finished, but good night for us overall. We're happy. Green white checkered was somewhat calm, surprisingly. I know Jason made a great move to go forward and get under, I think, Chad Ross. That was a winning move right there for us. So huge shout out to him, to Dylan for the help too. He's part of our team. It's a great race.
Yeah, you all ran a great race here tonight, and I do believe deep down that 4 wide move was a race winning move. I mean, you had Chad Ross trying to get his way up towards the front. He was there in the right position at the right time, just not there when it counted. But was that your plan all night long? Just stick with Jason and your other teammates if you could find them, or was it when it come down to the last lap you're just gonna go for it all?
It's a little bit of both. We always want to find each other, but I think we are better than most teams at being okay with not being connected to one of each other. I feel like a lot of teams are just dead set on having to be lined up and they cost themselves. And we, I made that call for him to clear down on that final lap so we'd have both lanes. And I think that really helped us secure first and second. A lot of guys, I think, would have probably stayed lined up and, got 1-3 or 2-4.
All right, yeah, I mean, it was absolutely a phenomenal finish here tonight. But, John, before I let you get on out of here, is there anybody on that number 24 machine you'd like to give a shout-out to?
Just the teammates, like I said, Jason and Dylan, we were great in both races. I want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I always like going back and watching them. Jeff for putting on all the events, and I guess everyone else for not getting me wrecked. Typically, I get wrecked at the end. If you don't like when the same person wins twice,
right?
Up front.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Jason.
Yeah.
All right, John, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that second place victory here tonight, and we'll be hopefully talking to you again next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Going to go ahead and bring up our race winner. Jimmy, I'll let you take away our race winner once I get him on in here, and that's going to be the race winner, Jason Maines.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Jason, it's good to see you back up here in a booth. And just to put it out there, I called for you to win at the end of the race.
Well, then, what's your phone number so I can call you from now on?
I just Dylan put me on the spot, said I had to pick a dark horse and who to win. And just the way that I've seen you up front for the past few races that I've watched you race, great chance of putting yourself in a position and being able to control the field. And I now finding out that John was your teammate, definitely had a helping hand in getting your team a 1-2 finish here tonight. But again, congratulations. I mean, there's a little bit of a wreck fest here and there, but I think you guys came out on top. Obviously by putting you in the best position. So I'll give you a little bit of time to go run down, maybe talk about your race a little bit, and then we'll give you a little bit of time to give any shots that you may have.
Yeah, well, before I do anything, I want to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I mean, it's been very blessed with the races and the finishes recently. Everybody gets some bad luck. I've had some in this race, and and it was nothing, intent, just a mistake, and I got fortunate enough to come back up through there. But yeah, I mean, these races go up and down, and there's a lot of good racing. Obviously I got to thank my teammates, Dylan Jones and John Ellis there. That's big. But thank Mullahan too. I mean, I pushed him earlier in the race, and Sean Hill. And I mean, we all, at the end of the day, we're all pushing to help. And then it comes down the track position at the end. And, if you wreck the guy, there's a chance you're going to be in it. So that was probably by far the best connection with Mullahan that I've had in at least a year. I mean, on that last, lap, he was super stable behind me, which is super important. And a lot of fun. I mean, I'm soaked. I'm sweaty.
Yeah, being an iRacer myself, obviously, and to get out here and just have a good time and run great races with other great drivers around you is always intense, and you lose more calories than you think. You get that heart rate just a pumping, and but it's a lot of fun. And again, we want to congratulate you here from CRN, having a great race and doing what you do and getting the win.
I really appreciate that, and I thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I'll go back and watch it probably around 2 o'clock in the morning, and thank Jeff for putting it on. And like I said, a lot of good racing in there. Obviously, we had some hiccups here and there, but at the end, it was really good. And just to give you an example, last night I think it was last night I was pushing Navarro, and it just worked out. I made the wrong decision, and I got pinned last night. So and I was like, but you did, yeah, I know. Believe me, that was hard to go to sleep last night. But the thing is, you can't be mad at the other people because you made the mistake. So at that point I committed to Andrew, and he's a good dude, and I've pushed him for a lot and I raced with him a lot, and that's when you just pay it back. You're not going to win when you're buried on the bottom, or even if you're second on the bottom, you got somebody on your outside. So it'll come back around. It just comes in circles. So appreciate everybody racing clean at the end, and appreciate the broadcast. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, Jason. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, boss. See you.
All right, there's one more person, Jimmy, that we're going to interview. Is we couldn't get a hold of Mr. John Mullahan, but it's going to be Chad the Hoss Ross. Chad, this is Dylan and Jimmy at the broadcast booth to get a copy.
Yes, sir, I got you.
All right, you became a dark horse. For one, I didn't pick you. Jimmy didn't pick you. I didn't even see your name at all the whole race. But Jeff Scott kind of threw you underneath the bus, made you a dark horse tonight, and you almost had it. And if I would have known that you were the number 38 before the race even started, oh, man, you would have been my pick from number 1.
Oh, no.
Hey, number 38's got to stick together, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Well, I'm blaming Jeff right now. I'm blaming him as soon as he said something, because as soon as he said, "Oh, Chad, they're talking about you," I was like, "You son of a bitch, you just jinxed me."
Oh, dollar for the CRN swear jar from Chad Ross. I'll take it.
He earned it. He earned it all ago.
But nonetheless, you still ran a great race. You were, like I said earlier, I didn't even see you up at the front of the field for the first majority of this race, and then started about 10 laps to go. We started seeing that number 38 making moves, the outside, the inside, the middle, wherever the run went. Did you think that maybe Jason Maines was going to push you to the front, or did you think that he was on the go time and he needed to make that pass on you to make it 4 wide?
Well, I mean, everybody's just going for the win, right? So, yeah, you didn't see me the first half of the race because usually I'm just hanging in the back drinking beer and trying to dodge the wrecks. And then about halfway to go, I try to get up there. So I did a fuel strategy. I topped off and pitted and topped off on kind of the last caution, or maybe 3 cautions to go. And I noticed a bunch of guys had to pit, so I stayed out and came out in 4th and was able to hang out up there. And yeah, I had my old buddy John Mollahan pushing me up there, and I appreciate him for helping me kind of stay up there. We worked together. And he went for it there at the end. And as much as I want to hate him and MF him and whatever, I know he's going for the win. I stayed up there kind of waiting for him to get clear, hoping he was going to push me. But no, he went by me, which, like I said, I can't blame him. We're going for the win, John. So if you're listening, I still love you, buddy. I'm a little pissed right now, but, tomorrow I'll love you again.
Money races turns out to be where your real friends are and where you can make real enemies.
At least for the evening.
Yeah. At least for the evening, but nonetheless, you ran a great race, Chad. Glad to see you out here running some laps with big top dogs. To have you come home P number 8, out of a 29 car field, that's still a win in your book. So. Yeah,
it's better than getting fenced on the last lap, like happens half the time, and coming home with nothing. So I think I won a little bit of something. Maybe got my entry back for this one. So it was fun finally being up there. And having a shot at it. It's fun getting up there and mix it up with them guys. These are some of the best plate racers on the service. These guys do this 5, 6, 7 nights a week. So if you can run up in the front with these guys, I feel like you're doing pretty good. So, and get to talk to you guys, I think, for the first time since you started broadcasting our races. So thanks for what you guys do. Thanks to Jeff for putting it on. Thanks for John for the help until the end. Get you back, buddy. And hope to talk to you guys again.
All right, Chad. We're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here. Celebrate that 8th place finish. And talk to John and get that all figured out there. We'll talk to you again hopefully next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, Jimmy, that's going to do it for the interviews here tonight. Just an absolute blast. If I could, I'd talk to Chad Ross. Every week. He brings.
Why wouldn't you want to talk to the guy that's drinking beer and having a good time?
Yeah, see, that's like in the beginning of the year, they do the 24 hours of beer, whatever it is, like the 24, they told the 24 hour, but every hour, you got to drink a beer.
Oh no! That'd be bad.
I don't drink, so I'm out of that equation. But like every hour,
you'd be done lap one.
Every hour, you got to send a picture of in a video you chugging your beer or whatever and throwing it down and grabbing another one and going. But anyway, that's going to do it for the broadcast here tonight. CRN's got a lot of stuff coming up here tomorrow night. We got the Core Premier Series. I'll be back in the broadcast booth with Brendan Polt as the Dirt 410 Sprint Cars tackle a dirt oval. Monday night, you got the GT Series for Core Racing League as they're going to start venturing off into their rest of their season on week number 3 of the Core GT Series. So let's go to the GT3 cars and the LMP2s, or is it the LMP3s?
LMP3s and the GT3 cars, yes.
I don't race that, so I didn't. And then Tuesday night, you're going to have 3 broadcasts, I do believe, because UCRL had their off week last week, and now UCRL is back this week. So you're going to have 3 broadcasts. You're going to have Smoky Mountain Grassroots as they go to Volusia in the Pro Late Models, as I will bring you coverage from that. And then John Nobinger will have the Arkham Menard Series on Core Racing League with CRN. And then Jimmy and Carl Handwerk will be bringing you UCRL Throwback series on a Tuesday night. Wednesday, you're going to have 2 broadcasts with myself in the broadcast booth for Lucky Dog Racing as they go to the 3rd race of the week in the limited late model stocks. And then you'll have the Chop Shop GT League with, I believe it is Carl and Mark. Or is it Carl and you?
I believe it's Carl and Mark.
Yeah, Carl. I think so.
I'm very limited on the amount of broadcasts I do. I stepped in with you here to give a better entertainment here. It's just fun to be in the booth with I know Jeff just asked for 1 person, but I figured having 2 people up here to kind of give some good banter back and forth for a new league and the drivers out there is just always a good time, especially to watch it back. So, but yeah, that's my time's limited. Is I have some personal stuff coming up, so I haven't committed to too much on my calendar so far the rest of this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, we got that stuff going on. And then Thursday night, we have the Dirt League, 4-Core Racing League. That will be on Thursday nights. Dirt Big Block Modifieds on dirt. You don't want to miss that. Friday night, we got something new in store with, I believe, Redline Racing making a comeback as well. And then Saturday night, back here with the Custom FEG PC doubleheader on a Saturday nights. But that's going to do it for myself and Jimmy in the broadcast booth. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.
Peace.